Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And as the title of the video is saying, this is my unboxing and card making of Simon Says Stamps October 2023 card kit. This is the monthly kit because I'm doing a lot of like Stamptember videos. This is not part of Stamptember anything. This is the monthly subscription card kit. It's available as a subscription. It's available as a one-off purchase. You can just buy the kit. You're good to go. You can do the subscription. If you choose to do the subscription, it's, I think, like $5 cheaper. You are not locked in, because I get asked that. You're not locked in. They email you an invoice every month, and you can choose whether or not you want to opt in for that month. So that's always a bonus because... yeah, to me, I don't like subscribing to things when I'm forced. It's like, but what if I don't like it? Or what if it's just not the, what if something else is going on? So there's all that. And then everything is always generally available individually. For the Simon brand products, they will be like restocked, etc. Some of the other products, it can just depend because sometimes they're seasonal, whatever. So, but yeah. Most of it's available individually. I always provide links to all the things in the description box below the video, as well as whatever extras I use to make my cards. Those are always linked below as well. I think that's enough of the housekeeping. So let's switch the camera over and open this and see what all is in it. So, okay. Let's get into the goodness of this kit. Okay. Make sure I got everything out of there. Okay, so this is the Put Your Party Hats On kit. Sucker. Always a good one. Ooh, strawberry lemonade. Okay. Always get me distracted with that. First off, you get a pair of Simon's Positively Everyday scissors. That just makes me happy. These are my favorite. I have already extras of these. I keep a backup. My favorite thing to use these for is cutting anything sticky, foam tapes, foam squares in half, any of that kind of stuff. These are just, because they're non-stick and they're just perfection. I love these scissors, obviously, because I have extras, and now I even have another pair. So that's fabulous. So you get those. You get he's stuck. There we go. One of the Rainbow Splash embossing folders. This is the Swiss Dots embossing folders. For those not aware, just recently, Simon has a whole new brand called Rainbow Splash, and it's technically geared more towards like beginner card makers, etc. But a lot of the products obviously can be interchanged. And the cool thing they did was these embossing folders that are just, they're thinner. They're not the really hefty like 3D embossing folders that Simon has. These ones are much thinner, more subtle, but I like that. Especially something like this, like a basic pattern, like a Swiss dot. I'm actually kind of excited about that because I was like, that's one you can use with literally everything just to add a little bit of texture. So, perfection. So, and I love that they are starting to put like the branding and the info on here. I like that. That's nice. So you get an embossing folder. You also get a pack of their bling. That was also part of that release. You get that in here. So you get some gem stickers. I love these. I'm going to end up hoarding these, pretty much guaranteed. These are the Tim Holtz Idea-ology word tags. They're all little metal. There we go. And they're just adorable. And if you want to get super creative, you can use like distress paints and distress crayons and stuff, and you can like rub them into here and it makes like the wording pop up and stuff. But again, I hoard. I hoard the Tim Holtz Idea. I curate it. I'm a professional collector. So, get that. And then you get a pack of shaker bits, little rainbow shaker bits. There's even a little button included in these, and I'll get to that in a second, because, yeah, there's a reason for that. So you get that. There's this absolutely gorgeous pattern paper. This is Paper Rose Rainbow Twirl pattern paper. This is gorgeous. Oh, I love the colors. Ooh, these are nice. These are really nice papers. I like the mix of like really gorgeous florals with very just rainbow stripes and dots and things. I don't know. It's just an interesting mix to me and really pretty. Like, oh, it's beautiful. Ooh, they're beautiful. I love them. Love those. So there's those. Get a couple of pre-folded or like pre-scored to pre-fold card bases. Love those as well. I use those a lot. Stamp set. This great big old put your party hats on stamp set. 6x8 set. This sentiment is absolutely enormous. In fact, I keep all my stamp sets just stored in the packaging they come in. I see no reason for me to change that. But yeah, this sentiment, like, let's just fold this card base just to give you an idea. There's like the focus of your card. It's huge. I love it. That's so fun. Anyway, the reason the button was included was because it would make a really cute topper for the party hats. That was why Heidi included it in this kit. So you could add a little bit of twine to it and stick it to the party hats. Like, just a fun little extra. So there is a coordinating die set for this. It is separate from the kit. So you can order it separately if you want it, because it's a big die set, because it'll die cut like this great big sentiment and all the things. So yeah, just super, super cute. There's a mesh bag. Mesh bag, always fun. Can't go wrong with Simon's mesh bags. They'll hold the entire kit. Not, and I'll add a disclaimer, not all the kits all the time come with these mesh bags. I've had people reach out to me. Again, I'm not Simon's customer service. Just gonna actually, you know what? We'll just switch back over so I can. I've addressed this in other places, but I need to address this on YouTube as well. I am a designer. I'm an independent freelancer. I am affiliated with Simon Says Stamp. I always speak just for myself. I don't speak on behalf of other brands, Simon Says Stamp, any of the other brands I use, etc. I speak just for me. And I am not an employee of any of the brands, and I'm not an employee of Simon Says Stamp. So I'm not their customer service. I have had quite a few people reach out to me with legit customer service inquiries. Not me. I'm not the person. You know, I'll explain my point of view when needed, but if you've got any actual like customer service issues, you reach out to the brand, the store you ordered from, etc., etc. They've all got that information on their website. Simon has a dedicated email for their customer service reps. Their customer service is top notch. I love it. I reach out to them every once in a blue moon when I do have, you know, some random issue, that sort of a thing. So I just wanted to address that because, yeah, the mesh bags seem to have really become a thing. And they always state, too, with their kits that sometimes items will be substituted, etc. And it's in their disclaimers that will happen, and if you're not happy, you can contact them about that. So I just wanted to address that. Me to my viewers and my peoples. Most of you get it, but yeah, I'm just speaking on behalf of me. So, okay, let's go back to the last bits of the kit. So, you get some cardstock, royal purple, one of my favorites, sunshine, super bright yellow, and then of course some holographic rainbow, which is always super, super fun. Always. Like, can't go wrong with holo anything, really. So, yeah, that's the kit in a nutshell. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna make. I I definitely kind of want to hoard these pattern papers because they're so beautiful. So many fun things. So many fun things. But yeah, keep watching. I will make some cards, obviously, and splice all that together in editing. And like I mentioned in the intro, I will have links to all the things in the description box below, so you can check that out. And yeah, keep watching. I'll show you guys what I made. Not only did I not hoard the pattern papers, I used all of them. Yay me. I kept the cards very simple because I am scrambling just daily. It's Stamptember. It's Stamptember, it's chaos, all the things. So even doing this, like these didn't take, I don't have a timeline. Sometimes when I know how long, I'll share that info, but also just a random little aside. I try not to fixate on exactly how much time card making, etc. takes. I think that it becomes way too much of a focus when people are asking like, how long did that take you? How long did this take you? We need to like get away from that and just kind of enjoy the process. It gets a little, that it's hard enough some days, you know, to just be able to sit back and create something, relax, etc. without fixating on like, well, this took me X amount of time. This took X amount of minutes, you know? So that all said, these didn't take that long. Even with, I actually do some sewing on these, and yeah, I heat embossed all of these pattern papers because I use every single one because I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm going to keep it simple. And like I said, when I was showing the set, this big, huge sentiment is such a great focus because it's enormous. So I put the pattern papers into my MISTI. I use my anti-static powder tool. I stamped that great big sentiment with clear embossing ink. And on 3 of the patterns, I use gold embossing powder. And then on these 3 florals that are like really busy, I used white embossing powder. So you can just see that it just pops off the background a bit more. Melted those with my heat tool. After I was done heat embossing all of these, I used one of Simon's basic rectangle wafer dies to die cut all of these so that I would have leftover bits like around the perimeter, which I use on the inside of the cards. So I die cut them all. And then I took my little Tim Holtz paper distresser thread cutter tool. I've shown this in a lot of recent videos. This sort of tool has been around for eons, really. Because I've been just back on that kick for however long now. I like roughing up the edges of my cardstock. Also, though, I did this on purpose because I wanted to do a bit of sewing. I showed one of the cards I did I think, at the very beginning of this month, and I sewed around the perimeter. And yeah, slowly getting back into that. You know, I got myself a little sewing machine again, and yeah, I don't know. It's another one of those things I really love the look of. I love the look of sewing on like cards and paper crafts. I can't sew for the most part, really. Like I'm not good at it, but I'm playing with it. I'm having fun with it. It's all good. So I roughed up all the edges with that paper distresser because this also helps disguise the fact that my sewing isn't that great because I don't have the time or the effort or the skill to, you know, do things perfectly. And besides the fact, perfection is overrated. So you rough things up, it distracts the eye. So I heat embossed. I then die cut everything. I then roughed up the edges. I cut down just a couple sheets of black cardstock to pieces that were slightly larger than the pattern paper panels. And after I roughed up the edges of the pattern paper, I glued them to the black cardstock with craft tacky glue. And then I was just stacking them and putting them under my big Hero Arts blocks and then letting it dry. And then I sewed. And this is all you guys can see because my camera filmed straight down. But I thought about it. I was like, maybe I'll set up move my phone and try and film. But I was like, no, that would be embarrassing because I suck again at sewing. However, saying that, and after my little speech about time, this part is in real time. It took me less than a minute to sew around the perimeter of each card. Like each one, just a minute. Didn't take very long, and it just adds a little extra something. So I just eyeballed it, legit just eyeballed it, and I was like, and then at the end, I kind of went, reversed it and back and forth to lock in the stitches. I do know that much for the most part, kind of. And for me, I did not bother cutting off or like hiding the threads. You can like pull them through the back and tape them. I used to do that back in the day too. It just depends on the look you're going for. But that's another thing I like, is that the loose threads hanging off, it just gives it that little extra something like, hey, this was handmade, So then, after I sewed the perimeter of all the card fronts, I took the scissors and roughed up the black cardstock. You can still use the Tim Holtz thing for this too, but I've also shown in videos. That's another reason I like these scissors so much. They're really good for doing this. And you can really rough up cardstock with them. So either or works great. I've shown both. I use both the little Tim Holtz tool and my scissors. It just depends. With the scissors, I can really rough up the edges. So I did that with all of them. And then my card bases are just going to be top folding A2 white note cards. Again, keeping it simple, because I made 6 cards in one sitting. Kind of one sitting. That's also why I don't have, time frames to share with people or anything else. Because I film in spurts in between just everything. Pure chaos. Pure chaos. That is my life. Anyway, I stamped a sentiment onto the inside of all of them with just some VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink using that little stamp set. And then, like I mentioned, I took the pattern paper that was left over after I had heat embossed and die cut, and I just cut it into strips. And then I matched up each strip of pattern paper with what will go on the card front. And I adhered that right under the sentiment to the inside of the card, just to give it that little extra something. So after I adhered the strip of pattern paper, I trimmed off the excess with my scissors, and then adhered the card front to the card base, trimmed the little, excess threads there a little bit if they were a little too much, and then just, again, kept repeating the process. So finding like the right pattern paper for, the florals, etc., flipping it over, adhering it to the inside, flipping over the card base and trimming off the bits hanging off the sides with my scissors, adhering the card front, and again sticking under my those are the big Hero Arts acrylic blocks that I've shown in a ton of videos, and I'll have a link to them along with everything else in the description box below the video. So after I got everything adhered, I took those little rainbow splash gems and I just used my little die pick, because these are all self-adhesive, so you just gotta they're basically peel and stick. So I adhered those to all of these cards as well, just to give them that little extra bling bling. Because, yeah, me and shiny things. I was going on about crows and ravens in a recent video, but honestly, my spirit animal is a magpie. Like, 100%. It's like, you want to distract me, just dangle something shiny in front of me, and I'm like, ooh. So anyway, that's it. 6 cards. With like great big birthday sentiments and this fabulous pattern paper and a little bit of sewing and a little bit of bling. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was just a fun little process. So yeah, each one has a little sentiment on the inside, and then the matching pattern paper I was able to salvage. This was the only difficult one, this one with like the wreath. But I was able to cut just that little bit left over of the pattern paper to stick to the inside. The rest, there was enough, of the pattern, etc., that it was fine. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my random unboxing, my speeches, all the things. If it isn't one thing, it's another. And then, like always, I will have a link below the video to my blog post. In the blog post, I have the pictures of the cards and picture links to all of the things, like I always do. It's a little easier to navigate. So that's always linked directly below. I, of course, will have all the links to the other supplies I use, along with the kit, the subscription, all the items available individually, etc., etc., etc. All that'll be linked below, along with my social medias. If you guys want to follow me on over any of those are linked below as well. Thank you all so very much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.